greeting friends, family, and the one guy that plays Crash all the time for some reason. I'm here today to speak with you about the state of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 released on October 12th and brought players back to boots on the ground combat with the fourth iteration of the Black Ops series. With players back in the mud, Treyarch's new game hopes to recapture some of the emotion from prior titles. If you've already clicked on this video, then you probably already know the other boring details. Like many of you over the past week, I've taken a deep dive into Black Ops 4 in its entirety. As fall approaches, you can be certain of two things: excitement for football season and a new Call of Duty game. Booting up a COD and jumping into your first match of the year is an incredible feeling that will always feel special. Prior to the meta being developed, and before all the scrubs flocked to YouTube in search of the perfect class to recreate for themselves, there is a special experience. An experience of each player discovering a brand new game for what it is, and attempting to decipher what it means to succeed and how to reach their goals. For me, Black Ops 4 has been a unique experience that has some great things going for it, but even worse things going against it. The formula has changed in Black Ops 4. The time to kill has been increased, and you must self-heal upon taking damage. For a game that relies heavily on fast-paced action that causes ensuing chaos, this change has definitely thrown a wrench in the gameplay loop. These changes can have huge implications in the overall feel of the game. One such change is an increased reliance on your teammates to succeed across all aspects of the game. Attempting to solo queue in an objective game modes creates an almost unbearable experience when you drop an absurd amount of kills in objective play but continue to find the defeat screen at the end of the match. The increased time to kill inserts extra strain on your teammates, creating gameplay similar to Gears of War, where team fire is essential in victory. Take these changes how you will, but I feel this dynamic will not play out well in the public matches most players participate in each and every day. Call of Duty is stifling its own identity with Black Ops 4, pushing itself over the edge to compete in the character shooter space. Prior installments of Call of Duty made attempts to implement specialists into their games after the hero shooter genre popularity surged. Many of the specialists in Black Ops 4 are balanced and fair in each and every aspect of their gameplay loop, but there must always be a balance between completely game-altering specialist abilities and merely minor tweaks that will aid certain playstyles. One negative thing I do have to say about specialists in Black Ops 4 is the inability to hard counter specialist abilities. Treyarch will of course not implement this idea because each of these abilities are meant as an easy way out for any player to obtain a kill through their chosen class, initiating instant gratification when they may not be excelling at any other part of the game, such as gunfights or team play. The gunplay in Black Ops 4 is amazing. The fluid movement system allows players to slide around corners, engaging with foes in action movie fashion. This is similar to other CODs, but you are prevented from flawlessly gunning down entire enemy teams with one magazine from your gun. You will find yourself peer into the glimpse of excellence as you flank an entire enemy team but lack the number of bullets necessary to tear through the armor-clad enemies. Kill streaks are as powerful as ever, with Hellstorm missiles devastating entire enemy squads across large portions of the map, with the only obstacle being the longer time to kill. For my last 2 points of the video, I want to discuss equipment and gun balance. Equipment was a huge stain on the canvas of Call of Duty World War II. Players found ways to easily spam throwables across the map and impair the imposing team through a simple perk change. This caused annoyance to many players, as they would be out of combat when suddenly a concussion grenade would fly over the wall and impair their character out of nowhere. To prevent this from reoccurring, Treyarch completely reduced throwables in Black Ops 4, preventing players from unlocking frags and concussion nades until late in their levels. This change has caused me to rarely see anyone utilizing any throwables besides the normal specialist equipment. So yes, Treyarch did solve the problems of spamming nades across the map like it was raining concussion grenades, but this did open up the issue of increasing the possible ways of dismantling an enemy camping around corners, behind shields and narrow hallways with long sight lines. Sure, many people I've discussed this with ask me, well, what about Firebreaker? Well, what the fuck do you mean by what about Firebreaker? Sure, when Firebreaker does have his ability to counter people in close proximity with him, he can counter those in tight corners. But how often do you have that ability? A few times a game? Definitely not enough to consider it as an option on every fight with someone that's in such a camping position. If you are a better COD player, yes, you may be able to somewhat easily remove someone from this camping position, but you must remember that heavy reliance on teamwork in Black Ops 4. Everything that you do, you hope that your team can also do. But there's a lack of tools available for each player to utilize in removing an enemy from a stationary position. The lack of equipment to impair camping players paired with a sensor dart, a barricade, and even some razor wire, you will find yourself unable to impede your opponent's stronghold no matter what you do. Unless, of course, you have your own ability, which may not always be the case, and you may not always be the right character, specialist, I mean. That way, you have nothing that you can do to counter this. There's an overabundance of people holding a tight angle while head glitching in Black Ops 4. Hell, most of the maps promote this action with specific map design choices. This is a fine choice, of course, but equipping players with the proper tools necessary to counter these actions is necessary in making a healthy game that people can actually play and enjoy. To this extent, I find myself running Ajax entirely for his 9-bang and shield, providing me with the ability to easily dispatch enemies along the way, even if they are sitting around the corner. Only changing off of Ajax because it's so boring to play the same specialist over and over again. No one wants to do that. The lack of tools to mimic this from my other teammates is troubling. What are they supposed to do after I'm on the other side of the map doing this to other campers? Are they just supposed to run face first and hope that they outgun these players? No, they shouldn't have to do that. There should be tools readily available to them that they can use to counter these actions. And as Call of Duty Black Ops 4 continues to age, I hope the player base will adapt to these playstyles, but with my current experience in pub matches without my friends, I fear that this may not happen. Taking it a step further, you can easily camp sightlines with the most powerful weapon in the game, according to me, which is the ICR. The ICR can easily defeat enemies close to long range. Adding only 2 attachments to the ICR will provide you with a devastating rifle that outgun almost any weapon in the game. Teams that will run full ICR squads will devastate your team, especially on maps such as Icebreaker. I've not witnessed any other reason to use any other weapon than the ICR through my first prestige, other than out of sheer boredom of the weapon. There's minimum kick to the ICR, and the fire rate ensures easy spray control for any player, pleb or not. The submachine guns in Black Ops 4 truly lack any reason to use them. Many of the assault rifles easily outgun most submachine guns in any instance. Even if you do effectively use an SMG, you are still open to other opponents because the SMGs lack a large magazine, as they usually do. With the increased time to kill and the inclusion of armor, SMGs are having a difficult time finding their place in the game. The long sightlines found in each of the 3-lane maps found on Black Ops 4 lack any inclusion of a space that SMGs can actually thrive on. But enough about that. What are your guys' thoughts on the best weapon in the game? Leave a comment and let me know. But I think it is for sure the ICR, in my own experience. It may be different for other people. But this SMG I'm currently using in this game is actually pretty decent. But this was actually, I think, my second game that I played. So most people are still trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So that kind of accounts for a lot of the SMG problems. Black Ops 4 lacks any real innovation in game types included in the multiplayer experience. In Black Ops 3, there are plenty of unique experiences that you could have, depending on the game type that you were playing. In Black Ops 4, they did add Heist and Control, which are 2 new game modes that are added to the game. As a tried and true Call of Duty fan, I find myself being truly bored with the old game types such as Domination or Team Deathmatch. I don't want to spend any time in any of these game types, so I really look forward to new game types being brought by new Call of Duty games such as Safeguard or Uplink and different things like that. So I really wish this game would innovate with its game types, especially in multiplayer. Of course there was Blackout, which most of the effort was put into that. So I understand this this was kind of lackluster in trying to think of new and innovative ways to play the game. But including more game types may splinter the base a little bit, but I think it will really help in the overall experience of playing the game and keep it fresh. Because right now I feel like I mainly play Control, which is a great game mode, but can get a little stale depending on how your team plays and how the opposing team plays, really. Heist is also something that should be brought up. It is a great game mode. It's similar to Counter Strike, where you purchase weapons, yada yada yada, spend money after earning it from killing people, etc. etc. But they need to add limitations to the game type because you can buy 5 seeker drones just to go seek out the entire enemy team, and there's nothing they could do. Sure, you can shoot them, but literally you can have 5 seeker drones coming after you. What are you supposed to do? Look down at the ground and shoot all of them instead of shooting the people that are coming at you? No, of course. You're going to be shooting at the people approaching you, but you're going to die every single time. So I think it should be some tweaking in this game type, but I think Heist is a pretty great option when looking for an objective-based kind of game. Another problem I have with a game type is Kill Confirmed. Kill Confirmed has always been one of my favorite game types, and it returns with this iteration. But one thing they didn't do is include the tags on the minimap for when they're dropped on the ground, so you can't tell where they are on the map. I think this creates a problem for the players because they already don't want to pick up the tags and confirm them because, people love just slaying, slay, slay. And don't ever think about, I need to pick up these tags, especially in pub matches with people they don't know. So oftentimes I see people just running by them, which is to be expected. But that's going to happen even more so when there isn't anything on the map to indicate where these tags are and how they can pick them up. Are they easy to find, etc. You can see your own tag, but I think it should be added just like prior installments had Kill Confirm, making it easier for players to actually engage in the objective and play the game type. Theater also made a return with this Black Ops, but I have not yet been able to actually view any of my bookmarked films. I have saved a few, and it only actually saved 3 of them, and I definitely saved at least 10. So maybe 3 is the limit? I don't know. But when I go to play them, my game crashes each and every time. So that's kind of sad to see that that has failed and does not work at all. Because that is helpful to save, good games that you had or whatever goofy things that happen. But I don't know. I just wish that they would have executed it better and made an overall better game, even if it was without the theater mode. This is not to say, of course, that I think Black Ops 4 is a bad game. I think at its core, it has great gameplay that is a lot of fun to play. But as with everything, this will be destroyed by the meta once everyone figures out all the YouTubers. Oh, how do they play? What? How can I mimic that? How can I play like them and get the easiest, cheesiest kills and try to pair up everybody and figure out the really dumb ways to actually win a game? I think that's when the game will be ruined. But currently, trying to tweak around and figure out all the great weapons is a lot of fun. But unfortunately, the ICR does reign supreme for me. The Vapor is also a great gun, but it just doesn't stand up to the ICR when at a distance. And one last thing I want to touch on is Blackout. Blackout was highly anticipated by the Call of Duty community, and it definitely paid off. Blackout is a lot of fun to play, especially in duos and squads. But unfortunately, in squads, I'm finding that lag really ruins the game a lot of times. In duos and solos, you're not finding as much lag, but when you do squads, it seems that the servers just can't handle those 5 or 4 people in the game in the squad together. So that is truly unfortunate because I think squads is hectic, but a good way to play Blackout. And I think it runs really smoothly and the gameplay is quite awesome. But I personally don't love battle royales all that much, but I find this one really enjoyable, and I think that it can have a long tenure in the battle royale genre. And so we'll see what the next Call of Duty iteration brings to light with the Battle Royale thing. But overall, I think it is a really good experience, but with it, you get all the Call of Duty shenanigans that you find in multiplayer that may make you a little angry, you know, hit reg and lag and different things like that. But I think overall, it's a great experience, and everyone should definitely try it. So overall, I think Black Ops 4 lost its identity in an attempt to innovate on the COD gameplay loop, manufacturing a strange experience that feels exponentially disconnected from the core Call of Duty experience. What we have here is kind of a mashup of a lot of different genres, and I think most of them are well executed. I haven't played much of the zombies because I'm not a really zombies fan. Why play zombies when you can play against human zombies in the multiplayer and wreck them instead? But overall, I think this is a pretty great package, but I'm disappointed not to have campaign. I'm sure I'm one of the few, but I always do like that on the Call of Duty games, being able to experience the single player campaign. And I feel that the lack of the single player campaign should bring to light the polish of the game, that we should expect a game that is almost perfect because they did not spend any time creating the single player game, which definitely takes a long time to do. So reacquiring those assets and placing them somewhere else, I think we should expect a higher quality of game. So these are my early thoughts on Black Ops 4, and kind of let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I'll probably be making a video later on to talk about what I think the game has become and my thoughts on it later after being able to play it a little more. Right now I'm Prestige #1 with level 14, I believe. But to finish out, we're just going to continue watching this Control gameplay that I have. This was the second game I played, I believe, in Black Ops 4. It really emphasizes the idea of requiring your teammates to really assist you in winning a game, because I kill 57 people in this Control game mode, and we still lose the game somehow. In prior Call of Duties, you could easily carry your team to victory, but it's just so difficult to do, especially with the Control game type, if your teammates don't know what they're doing. I hope you all enjoy. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you think the video sucks. That's fine. Tell me. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace. I apologize for my anger, because this did make me quite angry in the fact that I feel like I played really well and that the rest of my team just didn't perform, and we still lost. And it's just very sad to have happened to you.
Alright, just try and pick them off.
Enemies are contesting Zone B.
Inch glass.
Hostile attack deploy beacon active.
This
Can
guy
I not
has
get-
0 health.
How are they behind us,
Fight like you
dude?
mean it.
Dude, they're
I
everywhere.
fucking left the
We're taking
division for
multiple
this.
zones. Net call. Hostile Hellstorm inbound. Set up. Hostiles contesting A. Capturing multiple zones.
Enemy TAC deploy destroyed.
Oh my god, there's 2 over here. How are we not able to capture fucking B? Alright, boys, good work, good work. Keep it up, keep it up.
Enemies are contesting A.
No matter.
We're low on lives. Exercise caution.
Alright guys, there's
Multiple
people.
zones.
I don't know if you knew, but
That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense. That makes no fucking sense.
Take A, and just work on their lives.
I'm trapped at B.
Down to their last lives. Take them out.
Guys in the middle at A, how do you not fucking shoot him?
Capturing A.
Fucking asleep over there?
Be advised. Hostile attack deploy beacon active.
Cool. Into the hallway.
Guys, I am getting wrecked.
Purifying.
I don't know what you want to say, Mikey.
Shoot gun.
Yeah, I'm fucking shooting people. Shooting lots of people. I keep getting fucking shot in the back though. Every time.
Fight to your last.
Nobody's watching back there.
Ready to irradiate.
Alright, we can capture A. Come on.
Thank
Heal
you.
up.
Enemy UAV above.
UAV, we only have 4 lives.
Play it safe, super safe.
Guy in the. They have a fucking. Oh god. Well,
Fubar, it's all on you.
we lost.
That's the
It's
third
just
time
like
I've
Rainbow
gotten
Six.
hammered that game, dude.
Wow.
Why?
Mission
Just
failed.
like Rainbow Six.
Privacy designated exfil zones.
A one
We
shot
fucking
kill.
lost that. This is crazy.
Bringing tactical online.
Well,
Who the fuck was that? That just
our
got wrecked like
randoms.
that. Oh, was that their team?
Our randoms are absolute garbage, so
I
that
love
doesn't
that.
help
Can you
us.
see how many times our teammates died?
I think if you have a
No.
better name, you can.
What? Yeah, I'll invite you. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay. Let's see.
57 and
Jeff died
20!
27 times.
What? And we lost?
Dude,